welcome to the Houston Scottish Rite podcast. And today we have several special guests, and I'll let y'all introduce yourselves, starting with Mrs. Wilhelm. Go ahead, start with you.
I'm Lindsay Wilhelm. I'm mom.
I'm Brent Wilhelm. I'm the dad.
I'm Pierce Wilhelm. I'm the oldest brother.
I'm Kennedy Wilhelm. I'm the second oldest.
I'm McKinley Wilhelm, and I'm the third oldest. And I'm Grant Wilhelm. I'm the youngest.
And
All
Kennedy
right, I
and McKinley
appreciate
are
y'all.
both patients. So Kennedy's the main patient. McKinley has also been seen at Scottish Rite.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate y'all taking the time out for us this evening. And for those
Sure.
brothers who are listening, today's topic or episode is about the Scottish Rite Children's Hospital up in Dallas, Fort Worth area. So with that being said, we'll talk about Kennedy. So how old was Kennedy when you first started noticing that possibly you were needing some medical attention?
Kennedy was about 8 months old. After her routine immunization, she started showing some very delayed reactions that were just pretty abnormal. And our instinct told us we were, not experiencing normal things. So we kept taking her back to the pediatrician. They kind of brushed us off initially. And then she had started crawling somewhere in that time, but she would get up in the morning and she would crawl, but then she would stop crawling and just kind of start like scooting along the floor and just start crying. She had a very happy disposition, very laid back, easy baby. And then suddenly she just was not herself. I'm going to let my husband kind of chime in.
Yeah, so that's kind of how we noticed it. She was, like I said, she'd just start crawling on her, scooting on her bottom rather than crawling. And I mean, she was crawling just fine. And then all of a sudden she just stopped. And so we went to the pediatrician for a checkup. And like I said, she had some issues with, and we're not anti-vaxxers. I want to put that out, but she had some issues with some immunizations, and they caused some sterile abscesses on her legs. And anyways, we found out later, I mean, it's the arthritis that triggered all that. But so the pediatrician was, checking her legs out, and she stretched her knee out and was like, her knee does not fully extend. And we were like, what? She's like, yeah, her knee doesn't fully extend. So from that point, we, had some MRI procedures and stuff done, locally. And we kind of realized then that, we probably needed to go somewhere else. My first cousin was our family doctor then, and not our pediatrician. And he told me, he said, you need to get into Scottish Rite. So he was kind of, the
Instrumental one.
Yeah, the instrumental one in getting us to Scottish Rite. So I don't remember what age was she, Lindsay?
I think we initially went when she was about 9-10 months old, and then her diagnosis came at about 14 months old after a lot of genetic testing, labs, and whatnot. But of course, we're in between. Just to clarify for others, we're in between the Amarillo and Lubbock area in a very rural area. So we don't always have access to some of the things the bigger, larger hospitals do, but we do have Texas Tech and some of the other medical research things around us. But we also knew that they probably weren't going to be able to do what we needed for her at a young age because she was so young. So fast forward, we end up at Scottish Rite. They start their testing, and here we are. She turns 14 next week.
And
So how did y'all? Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Kind of a little side note to that. Her original doctor, Scottish Rite, who has since retired, is Dr. Pinero. And I have my family's. I mean, I've got a lot of medical people in my family. My brother-in-law was a surgeon. I've got two sisters that have their PhD in nursing. They both teach at Texas Tech. And anyways, I remember the first time we came back, or one of the times we came back, and they're like, "Who's your doctor?" And we told them Dr. Pinero, and they were like, they said, "Not the Dr. Pinero." And it's like, I don't know who the Dr. Pinero is, but I'm assuming. And they're like, "Wow, that is like, she's a world renowned. Like, that is like, you got the best in the world." right there. And,
Nice.
I mean, man, as a parent, that's like, what else could you
There's
ask
just a
for?
piece that overcame us. Our first visit there, it was kind of like, you worry, can't figure it out. And then I think I shared with you that we were going through some financial struggles. Brent farmed for 20 something years. He's since left the industry, but at the time it was after one of the worst droughts in this area. So financially, we were struggling. Medical bills were coming in. We still didn't have answers. So we get to Scottish Rite, and there just was a peace about it. The minute we walked in the building, Pierce, our oldest, was two. I guess he was almost 3, and even he was happy to be there. Everything about it is warm and welcoming. You smell the popcorn for any of you that haven't been there. It's colorful. It's different themes in different parts of the hospital. So we go to what's called the ABC clinic. Every room is named after a specific animal. And I mean, just from the very beginning, the red wagons to help transport them, everywhere you went, there was a toy. I mean, you were given a toy, you were given just so much love and compassion. So it just calmed everything, the whole atmosphere. We couldn't have asked for more.
So you heard about the Scottish Rite Children's Hospital from your pediatrician who was attending to Kennedy at the time?
Yes, and I will say we later changed pediatricians because ours was out of the office and out of the country a lot, and she kind of misdiagnosed some things we since were told at Scottish Rite. But I do know you have to have a referral usually from a pediatrician. So I feel like it was between the pediatrician and probably Brent's cousin, the primary care physician, that really got us the initial referral going. And that's really where we just heard about it. There are other people in this area that go, and actually tonight we were just at a junior high football game and learned of another family that was just sent there this last week and had almost an identical diagnosis. So, I mean, we can't tell people how life-changing it was. I mean, it was instrumental in her care.
So when you guys first arrived at the hospital, what was the experience like? Were you guys kind of nervous about it, or were they just so overly welcoming? How was that first initial experience for Kennedy? I know she was really young, but how was that experience, that welcoming?
I mean, I would say, of course, as any parent, you're traveling down to something new. We were nervous. I think, me personally had a little bit of a piece about it just because, like I said, my family, I mean, we have a lot of, medical professionals in our family. And I mean, they were just like, well, you're going to the best place. I mean, so, that initially right away, it gave you a calm, to know. And then, yeah, as soon as you walk in the door, I mean,
There's people in red
just,
coats, the volunteers. The amount of volunteers always amazes us of all ages and stages of life. I mean, when we first started going, there was a 90-something-year-old man, and he dedicated, I think they said every Friday, that was his deal. He was there to uh, help with, I think it was popcorn. I don't even remember. There's so many volunteers in red coats ready to just do whatever is needed, and they're at your disposal. And it's just, I mean, there's no place like it. It's just so heartwarming. And Kennedy, I don't think has ever known anything different. None of our kids have. Those were their first hospital days. So they've all experienced that. We've always traveled with all of them, taken most of them with us up until the last few years when it got, they were in school and couldn't all travel with us. And they've just always known that it's going to be okay, that they're going to take care of us, that nobody's going to hurt you. They're gentle. The lobotomists, I mean, they are top notch in the in where they draw the blood. I mean, it's just remarkable, like how they can go in their tiny veins at a young age, and they're not scared at all. They're just calm. It's it's remarkable, everything about it.
I mean,
And
I'd
one of
say
the
one thing,
Go ahead.
one downfall of Scottish Rite is they put the bar up here. And so when you go to some other hospital, you're down here. I mean, it's just, I don't even know. It's on a whole nother level, so.
And when I go and I promote the Scottish Rite, and we tell our brothers, it's you were never charged as a parent for
No,
the treatment. Do you
yeah,
want to
no.
speak to that? Or were you guys ever approached for payment? Or how was that handled?
So, yeah, we've never were approached for payment. at all. Never were. I mean, it never was.
We do receive bills now, but they usually just bill our insurance. At the time, we were self-employed, though. We were farming. It was the early stages of Obamacare. Things were hard. Just to get insurance, being self-employed was extremely high. I mean, I think we were paying what?
No, we paid.
2,500 a month, just,
Yeah, I
and
mean,
that didn't even cover some of these special circumstances. So once we got down there, the bills, they came, but it was always with and please do not feel obligated if you are unable to pay this, bill, this statement, please contact us. We have Crayon Care, I believe was what it's called, and they've always taken care of it. I must say that most of the families in this area know that that was a big part of their journey, and there has been a family that we're close to in the Amarillo area. They have since organized one of the largest fundraisers for Scottish Rite called Emmy's Color Shoot. They felt the need to give back, and I believe they are one of the largest fundraising capacities, I guess. You see their check on the wall, but their daughter Emily, her journey began around the same time, and our families know each other in the area. So we all know that it is so important to give back, and them and the Ronald McDonald House, I mean, they have a very special place in our heart. We stayed at the Ronald McDonald House in Dallas, and we will do holiday meals at both the Amarillo and Lubbock House to give back to them. So anytime we can give back, we are very, very excited to do so, because nothing will ever compare to what we have received from Scottish Rite.
I'm glad
And you
that
guys,
they finally started billing our insurance, which I'm glad. Because I want them to get, like we want them to get something, out of it. I mean, we have insurance, and they didn't start doing that until, like my wife said, till after Obamacare, and it was something to do with the legalities that they had to bill our insurance, which, I mean, I'm like, yeah, that's what it's there for. So.
and that's just one um, not as much stress when you know that part of it is taken care of. You can
For
focus
sure.
purely on your children and their health, and it just takes that stress off of you. You guys spoke about the differences of the hospitals that you've gone to and the Children's Scottish Rite, the Scottish Rite Hospital. Those differences are just so drastic, just the experience, just the loving atmosphere for the children and yourselves. Um, was there anything else that really stood out to you in comparison to these other hospitals that you've gone to and the Scottish Rite Children's Hospital? Meaning,
No,
I mean,
just
to me, like
reception, or
it's just,
do they get back to you real quick? Do they, when it comes? I've
oh, yeah,
noticed.
it's no problem. Just this week, we're in a situation with Kennedy. We, unfortunately, she hasn't had what's called a flare in several years. She now has both knees that are significantly swollen. She starts basketball Monday. Their season starts, and she had not been wanting to tell us, of course, because that just kind of, it's not good timing for her as an athlete. And we are from Nazareth, which is known for our state championships in girls basketball. If any of you want to Google it, I mean, we eat, breathe it, sleep it all. And so it's finally her year to kind of get to start in junior high. Anyway, fast forward to what our week has been like. We've been in contact with them since Monday, sending pictures through the portal, communicating. So we are probably actually making a flying trip sometime in the next 3-4 days to see about treating those knees, and probably some joint aspirations and steroid injections.
So
So
these are
yeah, the communication, I mean, you get to know them like family. I mean, we had one nurse, she retired, her name was Jo in rheumatology. She was there for years. When she retired, it's emotional because they become a part of your journey too. And I think I shared with you, she's 14. When she's 18, we have to start this journey all over. It's a little scary. I mean, it's bittersweet, but we have to start thinking, and they will guide us on the journey. But it's all the staff, all the people, our nurses, our doctors, the lab, everywhere we go, we know them, and they're just so good at what they do. It comes natural.
and I'll tell you this much. I mean, they're so good at it that Kennedy, from a young age, has always said, "I want to work at Scottish Rite. I want to help." I mean, she saw, like, hey, these people are making me happy. I'm in pain. I'm having to get treatments, and these people are just, you know, they're doing everything they can to help me, not only help me, but to make this, you know, it's not enjoyable, but to make it as enjoyable, to make them, you know, realize, hey, you know, you're all right, you're in good care. And I mean, to inspire a young child from that age to want to do that, I mean, that's
I will say we have never stayed overnight in the actual hospital. We have been blessed that we have never had to stay in the actual hospital. I have a second cousin. Her daughter did have a tumor in her leg 2 years ago. She's a senior this year, and they had to spend an extensive time at the hospital. And they also speak volumes. They're always singing the praises. But when they were going through their first parts of their journey, and she said, "Well, we're being referred now to Scottish Rite," and we just told her, we were like, that's the best place. You're going to be okay. And I mean, she and her, you know, daughter, they're the same way. None of us can say enough about it. I mean, we could go on and on. I know you don't have a lot of time, but
Well, my next question is for Kennedy herself. So, how did you feel as you've gotten older and got to know the staff? How you felt the treatment area? Do you enjoy the services that you get, or is it a pretty open, fun place to go?
Yes, I always enjoy going there. It's never just something I always look down to. Um, I actually have a girl in the class below me, me and her are good friends, and she had just been referred to Scottish Rite, and I couldn't stop telling her about how amazing it is. And I actually just gave an impromptu speech over how great Scottish Rite is. And all my classmates were just astonished. And they've helped me so much over the years that I can't even put it into most words. Um, I know that, I mean, I know from a young age that I always struggled, and they were there at my highest and my lows. Especially right now, they've stayed with me, even though they know I can push through. They want the best for me. They've never just been like, oh, she'll be fine. Oh, they've always been there. They've never had a bad influence on anybody. Like
Good. It's good to
they
hear
would
that.
be the one place I would recommend to somebody.
So, and your mother had sent us some pictures. So, tell us about. I believe there's a camp that you attend. I know you're in golfing, rodeo. Give us a quick little spiel about that. I mean, it sounds like your family's always active, all of y'all. But we'll just focus on Kennedy right now. Tell us about the golfing and the camp and the rodeo. Tell us all about that.
Well, I'm gonna start with camping. I went, yeah, camp Joint Adventure. I have gone to this camp for, oh gosh, I think 3 or 4 years
I think it's
now.
her fourth year. She just completed her fourth year.
And it's amazing. Like I see friends that I've met from the past years. I've seen some that I've just recently met, and we all just share the same experience about how good they are. My first year, I was nervous when I went. I'm 7 hours away from my family, and it's hard. And I went, and I was like, I'm going back until I can. And right when I got home, I go, when I'm turning 16, you take a break until you're 18, and then you can go to council. And I told my parents, I was like, I'm going to council at this camp. I want to make kids happy like they are making me happy. I want to be that person who brings joy into their lives, even through the hardest times. And knowing that they have that some people uh, have the same qualities as people who are like people who have all these other advantages in the world, knowing that they can do the same things as them is insane.
Give them an example.
I have a friend, her name is Claire, and she,
A camp
she
friend. She
yeah,
met her at camp through
She,
Scottish Rite.
yeah, she doesn't, she's an amputee, she doesn't have an arm or a leg, and she's the best swimmer I know. I've never seen anybody swim better. And I've seen tons of people just climb up that rock climbing wall insanely well. And I'm like, dang, not even I can do that well.
And so that's sponsored by the Scottish Rite Children's Hospital.
Yes, they
Yes.
put on the camp. You have to have an invitation.
Mm-hmm.
It's Camp John Mark, I think John Mark.
It's at Camp John Mark. We never know the location. They take them on private charter buses. The volunteers again are amazing. I think what's so moving about that, and forgive us if we get emotional as parents, the volunteers are there, and there are some of these kids with spina bifida, amputees, huge motorized wheelchairs, heavy, and their parents have never been away from them. They've never had 24-hour care that could help care for them so the parents could have a break. This is their first time to ever be away from a parent. And you see these volunteers loading these kids, picking them up physically, picking up these big wheelchairs. And to think that some of these kids, it'll be the first time their parents have ever had a break from the medical around the clock care. And these volunteers are just going, spending their whole week there, not thinking twice about it. The first time the bus left, we cried watching some of the other parents cry. I mean, it was emotional. Our kids are very independent. They go, they do. Like you said, we're always active, but to really put it into perspective and think that these people are willing to volunteer so these parents can have somewhat of a break and these kids can have a life-changing experience.
It is inspirational to see stuff like that.
Oh, yes, most certainly.
And Dana, she helps with that camp, but I also know I've known Dana ever since I started with learning to golf, which is one of the greatest things I've ever done. Like my mom said, in NAS we are known for our sports. Golfing is one of them. And well,
Her brother's saying no, not so
no,
much, but
we've won gold medals in golf. So anyway, and so I did not think golf was my sport. I went with the first time for my dad. I was like, yeah, that you better expect me to have the club like right out of my hands once I leave. And he was like, okay. But he was like, you can do this forever. And I was like, yeah, yeah. And so, and then the next year I was like, hey, have y'all got the invitation? And they're like, yeah, you want to go? We didn't think you would want to go. And I was like, yes, I want to go. Of course I want to go.
and then this year, sister got an invitation because she's been being seen by the neurology department. And that really, I mean, man, how excited were you, McKinley?
Pretty excited. I loved it.
Yeah, and they give them the golf clubs. Like every year, Kennedy gets we bring back we bring back the clubs that they gave us from the year before, and she gets a different set that's, more, bigger because she's growing. And so, I mean, you don't ever have to worry about it. I mean, we help Dana Dempsey's her name. She works there at Scottish Rite.
Phenomenal.
Yeah, we helped her load she pulls a little trailer all the way from Dallas to Lubbock, and it's full of golf clubs.
Who's the best golfer in the house?
I'm
Who's the
sorry?
best golfer in the house?
And he
All right,
has
all
used
right.
those clubs. He has used
Yeah,
those
he's used
clubs
clubs.
before he was gifted some for Christmas. So we finally were like, these are not for you. No. But I will say, like, Dana brings all the adaptive equipment this year. They had one person, he's an amputee again, spina bifida amputee, and y'all can speak more to that. You were at the golf
They
course.
have a wheelchair or a chair, a motorized chair, and it pulls up there, and then the seat lifts up to get him, like he'd be standing. I mean, he's an amputee. It's amazing to watch
And it's
it. I
where
mean, it's amazing.
Yeah, and it's where he can hold his club exactly where he wants without hitting anything.
Wow.
And it's just insane. And you think about it and it's like, dang, what I have such a privilege. And again, all this is cost free. Like you go there and you're getting taught by the best,
Yeah.
like professionals, and you're like, what a blessing. Like you don't realize it then, but now looking back at it, you're like, how have I not noticed this more? It's amazing.
It opens your eyes, doesn't it? It really does.
Yeah, it really does.
So what do you hear you're involved with the rodeo? Tell us a little bit about that.
I am involved with the Houston Rodeo.
In San Antonio.
Yeah, and San Antonio. I do commercial steers. And
Not just her, actually they all do. They were just outside feeding their cattle, so.
we
Nice.
do commercial steers. I love it, especially the speaking part. I am a speaker. Um, and I really, really, really enjoy it. It's just something, again, I started out with just a little challenge here that's held at West Texas A&M University by the Texas Cattle Feeders Association. And I started out with it, and I told my dad, I was like, first year and I'm done. I was like, I'm not doing it again. And at this little local challenge, uh, I, this is like my 5th year, and I love it. I do it every year now. I always look forward to it. And then last year, I started San Antonio. Also enjoyed that. One of my favorite ones. I love the speeches, the tests. Always think, dang, I wish I could learn more about that. Then I go to Houston. And Houston's a big environment. It's a couple more hundred people than I expected, but it was still fun. I met so many new people like Brian. And I really enjoyed it. And like I said, cattle is something I always look forward to. A lot of kids at school, they'll always come up to me and go, hey, what's this hamburger graded? Or how good is this steak? And I'll be like, I don't know. Don't ask me.
We're gonna let Pierce give a quick summary on what the commercial steer competition is. It is not like showing an actual animal. They do not show their cattle in a ring or anything. So Pierce, briefly summarize what it is.
So, right now we have 3 steers on feed for the Houston Commercial Steer Contest and 2 steers on feed for the San Antonio Commercial Steer Contest. We each have 3 and 2, so there's 10 cattle total. And we started feeding these steers back in September, at the beginning of September and at the end of August. And we'll feed them till the middle of February and beginning of March. And so what the contest is after we get done feeding them, we'll send them down to the steer show, where they'll then be live graded and ultrasounded at Houston or at San Antonio, which is where they actually look at the carcass and look at its value on a consumer scale rather than just looking at the animal and determining if it's looks good or looks bad. So
A lot of
then
a lot of work.
yes, and then there's also on top of that a written test and interview at Houston. So there's a lot of studying that goes into it. So during the early months of the year, we're locked in studying for probably 3 hours a week on top of all of our homework and other schoolwork on the commercial steer contest. And so at the Houston contest, we get there, we take the test, do the interview, and if your cattle do well enough, you get to go to what they call a premium sale. And at the premium sale, there's buyers, and a lot of these buyers, you kind of go meet them, and it's more of a social networking thing rather than a premium sale. It's to build your social skills. And while we were there, Kennedy was wearing her Scottish Rite pin, which then led us to Mr. Dodson. So when we met him, he brought us to I don't know how many people. Ended up being both of our buyers, and
The rest is history.
The rest is history.
Our weather changed. I mean, Scottish Rite. It was all a Scottish Rite pin, and
It's all through Scottish Rite, but I mean.
Well,
that's
to
just-
wrap every
like, well, that never happens your first year. Our other commercial steer friends from South Texas and all over, they were like, wow, y'all got lucky. We were like, really? And they were like, yes.
This competition, it's 20% animal and 80% kid is the way they're designed. Brian can tell you about it. It's just, it builds the kids up is what it is. It's not about the animal. It's not, I go buy them the best animal around and it's not gonna, I mean, it might help them a little bit, but the competition's them. And Brian, people like Brian, I mean, they're what, helps these kids and builds them, makes them future adult leaders. I mean, by teaching them how to network and stuff like this. So
Well, final comments or statements. What would you guys like to say to the brothers and to possibly parents that are considering the Scottish Rite Children's Hospital? Um, any final words?
Oh, yes, I mean, thank you. It's it's inadequate. It's changed our lives. It'll forever be a part of her life and her journey. McKinley has been going recently. We've all searched for answers around here. She's kind of had some, she's just like saying she didn't walk till later in life. She's just had some things and they still can't put their finger on it at Scottish Rite, but they're not going to stop trying. They have us coming back in December. So we're hopeful. And again, it just brings you that peace of mind to know that they're going to exhaust all resources. But just from the bottom of our hearts, thank you, because this is just one small story out of millions. I know they've already had their 100-year anniversary. So we get a Christmas ornament from the gift shop every year. They're some of the first that go on our tree. It is near and dear to our heart. Each and every person that contributes, all you guys do, just thank you.
And again, I mean, we can't thank you enough. I mean, it's gonna be a part, it's already a part of our family. It's gonna be a part of these
Generation.
kids' families. I mean, we've already, I mean, we've already got our mindset, like, whatever we can do to help Scottish Rite, we're gonna do it. And whatever, I mean, we just want y'all to know that, words can never explain the gratitude that we have, for it. And as far as anybody wants to go, I mean,
Go. I
Go.
mean, don't hesitate.
Go.
Like, just
yeah,
if you get the referral, go, because it's going to be.
it's the
And if
best.
they don't know what they're looking at and they can't get you the answer there, they're going to find the answer somewhere else. They're going to keep looking.
Well, I can speak on behalf of Brian and the Houston Scottish Rite and probably all Scottish Rite Masons. Is you guys are an inspiration. You really are. You guys are just inspirational to us all. That's why we do what we do. And we can all be more like y'all, strong and
Oh, I don't know
appreciate
about
y'all.
that. We definitely think we would not be where we are without all of this support. And we invite any of you, if you're ever in the Panhandle area, look us up. We'll be glad to serve you a steak dinner. I know you probably have some hunters in your group. We have some really good dove and pheasant hunting up here. Please, please, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. We'd love to give back to you all the way you've given to us.
Yes, very, very much so.
Well, I appreciate y'all, and y'all have a good night.
Thank you. Happy
Thank
holidays
y'all.
to everyone.